rightful throne.
The scene opens with the third force. Machiavelli argued that a wise ruler should let others administrate unpopular measures. Cersei allows Varys and Pycelle to deliver the accusation, absorbing the friction. Pycelle, wearing the visual symbols of wisdom, his chains, utilizes stigma theory. By framing Ned's actions as a plot to steal the throne, he pathologizes Ned's loyalty as a noxious weed, providing a veneer of objective, scholarly authority to a political purge. Sansa begins by asserting her own reality. This is an instinctive defense mechanism, where she attempts to maintain her self-opinion and her connection to her family's honor. She appeals to the rational explanation that there has been a mistake. However, as the body keeps the score notes, the rational brain is often impotent to talk the emotional brain out of terror once a threat is established. She is fighting for a truth that has already been decided against her.
Marry my son.
Cersei deploys Robert Greene's law of role-playing, adopting the saint archetype. By using the endearment sweetling, she mimics maternal attunement, a psychological state that gives the target the feeling of being understood. This creates a halo effect, masking her hostility. However, she immediately pivots to the implicit threat, the loss of Joffrey. She frames the traitor label not as an accusation against Sansa, but as an unfortunate obstacle to Sansa's deepest desire. Pycelle acts as the fox to Cersei's lion. He introduces a form of biological determinism, suggesting that treason is genetic, a seed that will inevitably hatch. This forces Sansa into a psychological corner. To survive, she must actively disown her own biology and her own father. It is an attempt to induce soul murder, where the victim must erase their own identity to align with the aggressor.
Hatch anything.
Here, Sansa shifts from defense to a trauma-induced fawn response. Realizing that rational defense is useless, she pivots to painful compliance to placate the abuser. By promising to be just like you, she's engaging in identity erasure, actively separating herself from the bad elements of her family to maintain an attachment to the figure in power. She effectively agrees to become a tame.
Her loyalty.
Littlefinger plays his part in the theater of consensus. By framing Sansa's coercion as an opportunity, a chance to prove her loyalty, he helps maintain the illusion of autonomy. The council validates Cersei's narrative, creating a group effect where Sansa feels that everyone agrees on the reality of the situation, making her isolation absolute.
Little dove, you must fealty to Joffrey.
Cersei reframes the coup as a misunderstanding that Sansa can fix. She uses the appearance of legitimacy to make the demand look like an act of mercy. By suggesting the letters, she makes Sansa feel like an active participant in saving her father, rather than a pawn consolidating the Lannister grip on the north. It is a soft cage. The trap is disguised as a solution.
To a traitor.
Cersei instantly withdraws the warmth of the maternal mask. By stating, "You disappoint me," she weaponizes Sansa's need for approval. She pathologizes Sansa's love for her father, framing the desire to speak to him not as loyalty, but as a moral failing. She forces Sansa to view her father solely through the lens of the traitor label. The trap snaps shut. Cersei reveals the transactional nature of her love. The safety of the father is now entirely dependent on Sansa's performance of loyalty. By the time Sansa asks, "What must I write?" implied in the next scene, she has successfully suppressed her inner chaos to align with the aggressor's reality. Coercion. However, the true significance of the scene is not political, but psychological. This encounter represents the definitive death of Sansa the Child. The girl who believed in songs and knights has been murdered by the gaslighting of Pycelle and the big lie of Cersei. In her place, we witness the birth of Sansa the Survivor. There is a profound irony here. Cersei believes she is merely breaking a hostage, but she is actually providing Sansa with the most valuable lesson of the great game. By forcing the girl to wear the mask of the loyal subject, Cersei inadvertently teaches her that courtesy is a lady's armor. Sansa learns that in King's Landing, the truth is not what happened, but what you write on the parchment. Sansa has looked into Cersei's funhouse mirror and realized that to survive, she cannot break the glass. She must manipulate the reflection. She leaves this room as a tame wolf, psychologically aligned with her captors to stay alive. The soft cage has done its work. It has not just imprisoned her body, but reshaped her soul, forging the very mask she will one day use to outlast them all.